you know, it's sad to say it, man, but you know, I was disgusted, man.
Right.
I was disgusted for real. But my man passed it. He got all right. It's like 25 questions. By the time it was up to 22,
It's like, yeah, well, I'm
it
already
was
in.
like cut. You're good. You know. So
Well, you wait till you start driving to school. You're gonna be all. You can't sleep at night. I mean, you can't sleep. You know when they go to school on their own when they drive. Oh my goodness! I used to follow mine.
somebody said you got to flirt to get what you want, unless it's a dude. Oh man,
Not doing that. They're going to jump back on you.
Pat, unbelievable, man. I mean, I noticed that she was treating the Hispanic people that way because they was in there giggling with the black girl and so whatever. The Hispanic guy came in, took the test, got up. Of course, they can see over there whether they passed or not. Guy ain't passed the test. And I want Spencer to also recognize, man, just because you may know things about cars and this, that, and the other, or driving or whatever, doesn't mean you're gonna pass that test. People were coming in and sitting there for like 10 minutes or less and then leaving. And
Yeah,
she was
man.
just like, reschedule,
Well,
reschedule.
you know what you got to do. You got to lay down the law when it comes to them and driving, and you got to lay down the law early. You know, we always have to tell our kids those type of things. So, watch what you do because I'm gonna tell you. Paul. I'm not gonna lie to you. A couple of times I followed Jordan, Joseph, and Jasmine when they went to school.
When I went to school, yo, is that sunflower seeds you eating? Yo, God, we can't hear you. Is that sunflower seeds, Pat?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Gary.
We don't have that problem in New York City
What you mean?
because by the time most kids drive here, they're
College, 18.
seniors,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, we have
Not here. If you
but
catch the right age, you could be a junior and be driving.
Spencer is gonna be. He's still gonna be a
I
He's gonna
I'm
be
glad you
driving as a sophomore.
I'm
Well,
glad
sophomore.
Pat brought that up. I got glad
Yeah.
Pat brought that up because who hasn't followed their kids somewhere or spied on their kids from afar?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because I remember doing that, and 'cause I was so scared because here in New York, kids like to go to the other neighborhood and play basketball, and so I remember following Tony from far away and watching him play. That's why when you hear stories about people getting jumped and they're like their parents come out of nowhere because their parents are following them or
Yep.
somebody's uncle or aunt. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this kid tried to jump me. And my father came out of nowhere. I thought he was at work because your dad took the day off and was following you. But they did that to Tony one day, and Tony beat up 3 kids in the Bronx.
Beat,
It's true.
beat, beat up 3 kids. Yo,
Beat
Pat,
him
I'm
three
so sorry,
kids.
Gary and Pat. I'm a little bit late, man, but I need to hear that theme song again, bro.
Oh, we good. We good. We good.
Thank you, man. That's what I'm talking about. So Dave said he's never
Never
followed his
follow
kids.
kids. I saw that. I saw that.
He followed them in their mind, though,
Yeah, when your
or he
blood
was
pressure keep
praying.
going up.
So guess what I did yesterday?
Go ahead.
Oh, I bought you the game, Pat. I played baseball in Shea Stadium, man.
Yeah, here's my thing. None of my joysticks are working. When I plugged it in and it starts blinking, what's that about?
It needs to recharge.
I
PS5.
did. Nah, PlayStation 4. I did. But me and Paul used to play baseball all the time. Woo said I look like I ain't get sleep in a week. Nah, Woo. I went down to New York yesterday, went to the Lion King joint. Man, nice time we had out there. Turned right around and came back. So you're right, man. I got the mad bags under my eyes. And
So,
time
Pat,
people don't like me eating sunflower seeds because I keep spitting.
yo, you know what I say? Next time, take a train.
That's right. Right at the Penn Station.
I'm gonna do that. It's
That
cheaper
drive
too.
that drive that driving that
Cheaper.
driving is it's not worth it. Cheaper.
Forget about cheaper. It's relaxing.
You could have had a nice little snuggle seat.
Yep, you and your wife.
$97. Yep, and take an
Well, you
Uber right to your house.
Uber, park the car right there in New Carrollton, my dude.
That's true too. Paul. I didn't even think about that. That's right. Yeah. You couldn't get me to drive down to you anymore.
No, I got
Very
it.
tough.
I got it. You know how much toll
I
you
told you I
paid
came
out
off.
from Maryland?
I came off the plane last week. Oh, nobody knew from that. Came off the
Mhm.
plane last week. Me and Paul just jumped on the bus, like you said, Pat. Went around the circle and stayed there. And then the platform is right there. And I just jumped on the train and came to New York. And then I flipped my day to Sunday, and
Right.
then I went up to Connecticut. So
Yeah.
Dave is he's pulling a parenthood. So I've stayed up until they got home. Yo, I thought Dave was in Atlanta, but he's not.
Where is
Dave,
he?
yeah, I
where are
was
you in
looking for
Florida?
Dave last week.
What is it? Where? Yo,
I think he's in
Wu said he saw
Florida.
the Lion. Paul Wu said he saw the Lion King 6 times.
Oh snap! He must have got free tickets. The joint
No,
the joint to
who got
see
money like that?
the joint to see is Hamilton.
You saw Hamilton live?
Yeah, not only that, yo, listen, I'm watching Hamilton, right? Live, right? Wendy falling asleep, right? Watching Hamilton live, and I'm looking at this guy, right, Gary? And I'm just like, why does this guy look so familiar? Do you remember the story, Pat? And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, he looks so familiar, like I know him. What up, Mike Dortch? And so when I looked, I said, man, so I posted, right, G? I posted, man, I had a great time in DC watching Hamilton. It was exhilarating, blah, blah, whatever. Dude hits me back. It's like, Pastor Graham, you were there? It's like, yeah. He said, yeah, I did the stage thing. It's like, what? He said, I was so-and-so, like a major part, not like a walk-in or whatever. He played a major part.
Really?
So he hits me up. He hits me up and says, I got 2 free tickets for you to come back. Couldn't though. And then he says, if you can't come tonight at a certain time. We went back the next night at a certain time, me, my nieces, the kids. And then we just did a tour of the stage. It's crazy how the stage spins, the whole nine. It was crazy.
Funny thing about Hamilton, Miranda, the person who made the show, he did the opening. Remember Maria from Sesame Street?
Yeah.
Now they have like a cartoon coming out about a girl in the Bronx, and I think it's called Alma, something like that. And so Maria, or the lady, her name's Sonia something. Right. So she now has a show here of because outside of Puerto Rico, the Bronx has the most Puerto Ricans in the whole world.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Gary? Yeah.
Yeah. This county, the Bronx. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So Gary,
I like the dark skinned Puerto Ricans, Gary.
So really, tell me, really, Gary, how was the in your mind? Was this your first time going to like Northeastern session? A session?
No, I've been there before.
You've been to a session before? But you never been to one that went to like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what you're saying.
That's what you never been to before.
I've been to one that's to 3 o'clock in the morning. The last one that went overtime, that's the one I didn't go to. I think I went to 3. This is my 3rd one. Yeah.
What's your overall thoughts of Jules? Getting in, Dr. Jules going in.
I
know we had him on our show. I know we had him a couple weeks ago.
And there was there's an outcry, a small outcry that people want us to have him back. But I think Dr. Jules would come on the show again, but they're in transition over there.
Yep, they're doing it good too. They're doing a good job with it too.
Well, that's what you see.
Right, that's what you see.
That's what you see, because you don't know if like
Jay, go. I think you're out. You know, he must be out. Something must be wrong with him. But Lisa Lee says, what makes it go to 3 a.m.? And what makes it go
Politics.
to, yeah, politics is like you keep on sending the name back. You keep sending the name back over and over again. That's what makes you go high like that, or make the
Yeah.
time frame like that. Go ahead.
So yeah, so that they really what happened is the chair Knight really controlled a
That's
lot
right.
of the you know a lot of the point of orders and things like that, because you could
So
stay there all
you
night
gotta
if
be
you
a,
don't like something.
you gotta be a true
If you don't like
parliamentarian,
something,
man.
you could call it out. So that didn't happen. We got out of there at 8 o'clock.
I mean, 8 o'clock is good, but I could tell you that that if you don't have a good chairperson, remember the union is the one that the unions are the ones that chair it until you get a president. Well, no. They chair it all the way to the end.
That's right. It's all the way to
Mhm.
what happens is the president has the opportunity to go in to the nominating committee to say what he wants from what he may not want.
Linda said, I was there, a lot of time wasting. I'd like to know what she mean by that, but
Now
She needs to
she's
sit.
probably
She needs to.
referring to the fact that I think that what happened is that the nominating committee had 2 weeks to bring the names to the table to the constituents, and that didn't happen. So after they did the president, vice secretary, and what's the name, the treasurer, the nominating committee put together the departmental heads right then and there. So there were some feelings that how come they didn't bring everybody there. And a lot of people who are first timers don't know that you have worship when you go there. So they said it starts at 9. If you don't know, you're going to have worship, which Dr. Pollard spoke. And, there's people from other places, like Dr. Bird was there. There's some people from Southwestern, South.
why you think all of them was there? For what reason?
Observation.
And not only observation,
because
you gotta
these constituency meetings mimic each other.
exactly. So
You
also
down to the
learn.
setup.
You also learn from the
people,
different
instead of having it at their
constituents.
camp meetings, they're going to go to small arenas like this to do conventions. So they all share ideas and what was working. So I don't want to criticize what happened, but I'll give you a case in point that the mics were on the floor. Imagine yourself at the Von Braun, right? The mics were on the floor. But if you were in the stands and you wanted to say something, you have to come all the way down the stands.
Right.
And by the time you got to the mic, it'd be like, you can't put emotion on the floor. And you really can't anticipate what is happening.
Well,
so, if I was to do it, I think people come to constituency meetings to vote. And so what I mean by that is, if you have a president's report or a secretary or a departmental report, that should be all done on Saturday night. And then Sunday, they should vote flat out. So
let me say this to you.
I don't think it needs to be a one-day event. The only thing that should really happen at these constituencies, you should have worship and then go into the voting. So my proposed next time is, I'll write the executive committee and the planning committee that you have worship there all day, and that night when the sun set or what have you, you go into the reports, and then if the executive committee, while the reports are going, let the executive committee tie their loose ends for Sunday morning, and after worship Sunday morning, they should go right into voting, because people come for one reason only, to vote or to express their concern. So
let me say
for the better. So
let me say this. First of all, people shouldn't. The reason why the conferences are so jacked up.
I'm going to go in and come back out.
The reason why the conferences are so jacked up is because they come for just to vote those people in office and forget about the bylaws. So now you got a situation. You got a situation like communication. Communication is on a what is it called again? It's on a slot. What's the slot called again, Pat?
Director?
Term limits. It has a term limit.
Oh, that's only in Northeastern. Only in Northeastern.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
When Northeastern decided to go term limits and they put communications under term limit, and you know
Communication alone, or is it?
I don't know. All I'm saying is that communication is not something that should be a term limit. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
If you really want to hear my side of it, I don't think that there should be any term limits.
No, well, Pat, no.
Yeah,
The reason why. Hold on, Gary.
I think there needs to be term limits.
Okay, go ahead. I'll tell you. Give me space to tell you why I don't believe in term limits for this. Okay, go ahead.
Well, first of all, you can go back in history and look at how term limits have destroyed organization. I mean, no term limits have destroyed organizations. Term limits. I'm just saying the issue with term limits is that what term limits does is allow the people to come in and be a part of the growth process and then be gone. When you had Dudley, who was a president for 20 something years and what have you, what does that say to the new generations coming on, or people with great ideas, or people? It's a monopoly. That's what I'm saying. And on a spiritual level, we don't want to hold a monopoly on certain spiritual posts, like communication now, right? Don't get me wrong. I have no problem saying this. First of all, Northeastern is blessed to have Dudley back. I mean, in the ranks. Simple and plain. All right. The issue that I have is that, as important as communications is, to give him 2 slots like that, I'm just saying that, and I think you can do both. I think you could do 3 slots. But the fact of the matter is that I still see Janine, who have done a wonderful job there, setting a pace for communications. Yo, your boy COVID comes in, right, Pat?
By the way, Janine's birthday is today.
That's good. But let me say, Paul, you just contradicted yourself.
Why?
Because you just said that you don't see the reason why communication should have term limits on it. To me, let me just tell you, let me fight my reason why I don't believe in term limits.
Well, first of all, communications is not a staple post position. It's not.
Neither is presidency.
Yep, it is, Pat, because you cannot be a president.
I'm going to prove my point.
You can't be a president unless you have done this, done that, and whatever. You understand where I'm coming from? Okay, look at Deborah Anderson in Potomac Conference. Deborah Anderson has her degrees in communication, whatever in communication. Anything goes on with the conference, we call out and say no one is allowed to speak on this. Only communication can speak on this, and this, and the other. It's not a spiritual post, man.
What are you talking about, Paul? Okay, I just disagree with you. Let me just disagree with you.
All right.
To me, term limits is to protect to protect a dictatorship or something of that nature. To me, if the people know what they're doing and it's time to move on, new vision, they vote you out. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
But that's very hard to do when you have alliances that are made.
Yeah, but alliances.
Go ahead. The people in this system cannot break the alliance.
Okay. And Gary, what I like about what happened here, right? There's some things that I don't like about what happened here, but it has nothing to do with the integrity. It has nothing to do with integrity. In the past, as I've seen Northeastern do what it does, I've seen a break in the integrity or mess up in the integrity. Same thing with you, Pat. I have nothing to say about what our conversation is, but there's, like in the last election before, you can see that some integrity was lost.
Okay. So let me tell you where you contradicted yourself. A communication person, they get term limits. You say, oh, they shouldn't have term limits. Why? Because I think this person is going to has done a great job. Okay, go ahead then. Go
That's
ahead.
not what I'm saying. That's
Go
what
ahead,
I'm
go
saying.
ahead.
What I'm saying is that I'm going to go back to my premise. My premise is too many times people go to these constituency sessions to vote 1, 2, and 3 and forget about the bylaws. You see where I'm coming from?
Right.
When it comes to the bylaws, the reason why we, and I don't care what anybody says, the reason why we, especially in regional conferences, I cannot say in state conferences, because you're going to need to meet a pastor coming up in a little bit later. One of the issues that we have in regional conferences is that the executive committees are not heavy with pastors. And then you have some committees that are heavy with pastors. You don't have enough representation from different places. So the more members you have and not workers you have, the members think you don't work. The members think you don't, the members think so much things that they don't understand,
Okay.
to the point where they're making rules and voting rules on your life. So do I believe in term limits, Pat? Yes. Hold on a second. But do I believe that we don't need term limits for certain things? Sure. The only reason why term limits came in is because regular members said, oh, you're not going to run us like that again. Are you seeing where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
And
right.
The public conference does not have term limits. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Right. And hold on. And hold on. Oh, you see, you're proving my point again.
Pat, what I'm saying is, I'm not, okay, one more time. I'm not talking about term limits. I'm talking about saying that Gary said people come there, right? People come up there to choose directors. You see where I'm coming from?
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, the reason why we lose at constituency is because constituency is not about choosing directors. It's about the most important thing is the bylaws that governs those directors. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Okay. Let's stay on term.
So to answer your question, whether you believe in bylaws or whether you think there should be bylaws or not, the issue simply
Not
is,
bylaws.
I'm sorry. Term limits. The sad thing is that who's voting it? The majority who are members, or the majority who are, there's no equal length of people.
Those decisions are made. Those decisions are made prior to coming to the floor.
My peoples. Gee, I understand that. Hold on. Let me get to the term limits first, okay? Before we can go on to that, because I have another point of how I feel elections should be. Number one, let me just put it this way. The first thing I want to say is that the reason why I don't believe in term limits is because sometimes it takes an extraordinary person to be able to take an organization to a certain place. And when you say their term limit is up, the vision die with that person.
Okay. I agree.
Let me give you a point. Let's say in Southwestern, there's a term limit, and we're not at 5 years where we are now, but now we're at 3 years.
Yes.
But he comes in, he takes 1 year, he's elected again. His vision, normal vision, takes you past 5 years. Your short-term vision is 5 years. In any organization that you do, that's leadership, right? At its best.
Yes.
Buddy, I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about. Let's look at Buddy, for example, and let's say it was a 3-year term, even a 4-year term. When you come together now and you sit down, you put an organization together, and you're riding high, and you're doing well. Finances, baptisms, evangelism, all of that is happening, and then you get to the 10th year or the 8th year, and you say, your term limits is up. The term limit is up. I have a problem with that because because we're about to take it to the next level from there.
Right? I understand.
Let me turn the other way around.
Okay.
Because this is where the problem really comes in. It's not for the positive side of it. It's for the negative side of it.
Yes.
So now you vote this person in, you can't get rid of them. See, this is where our problem comes in. Just hear me out. You get a president whose vice president is not doing any work. Well, in the Adventist church, we say, we'll wait till the end of the year come. Then in the last year of their term, they start to do work. Come on, just stick with me for a second, right? They start to do work. They go to camp meeting, because camp meeting is the time where everybody can see you and everybody this, that, and the other. and yet they get elected again. Right? Going back to the spiel again. This is the reason why people want term limits. They want term limits because the actual people that come to as delegates don't know their jobs.
That's all, Pat. Then Pat.
That's true.
Hold on.
That's true.
Hold on. Let me get to my point. If everybody knew what their job was, as they're sitting down as delegates, moving from delegates to nominating committee to voting who the president, secretary, treasurer is, you wouldn't need term limits, because then people would get up and people would decide on the spot, I don't want that person. It has nothing to do with him. I see another person. It is okay. This is where we have a problem with Adventism and Christianity. It is okay to come together with a group of people and delegates and come together and go call somebody at their house. It's okay to say, hey, my man over there, we don't want to deal with this person anymore. We want to deal with this person over here. You're allowed to do that. In Adventism, when we do that, we say that that's bad politics. It's not bad politics. Matter of fact,
the most powerful committee is the nominating committee.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. The most, so anybody who studies this, but you have to get on a nominating committee, because half the people on the nominating committee got on the executive committee.
Okay, stop. Okay. Gary, hold on, Pat. Gary, listen to me. Pat, I understand what you're saying. I'm with you. The only reason why I believe in term limits, and I'm not pushing I'm pushing that people go up there for the wrong reasons. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree.
Okay. Well, so what I'm basically saying is that one of the problems we have why term limits are also in, because we have spineless people who don't know how to, as an executive committee, work the directors.
That's not. Oh man, P, I love that you're doing this. So let me stick another pin. G, let me tell you. Now remember, all conferences have different bylaws. All of them they're not the same. Okay. Right. So what's going on in Northeastern is not necessarily what's going on in Allegheny East. Let me give you an example. Our president died, right? Our president died. In everybody's mind, the vice president moves up to presidency. Am I right? That's just your thought process. The country does it. Everybody does it. But watch this. A secretary does not necessarily know how to do a president's job, or Absolutely. A VP of administration doesn't necessarily mean that person could do that job. So in Allegheny East, the executive committee has to choose someone to be the president. That's not necessarily the black person.
Absolutely.
I understand that.
And I agree with that.
Okay. But here it is.
And regional.
Go ahead, G.
But here's the thing. Across the board, I don't care what conference you in. And I'll say this for Northeastern, because I deal with them. There's meetings that goes on all the time, and major decisions that are made that people do not show up to. So,
oh my goodness,
Gary.
Okay,
again,
and then
here we go. Here we go again, Gary. I'm sorry to do that, because you're speaking as you are so correct. You're speaking as a lay person, right? That has brothers who understand the work, or that you understand the work being there. The problem we have with people from our churches today is that Patrick said it correctly. You're going up there to be a delegate, and you're not doing delegate things. And then you get on the executive committee, and then you do not show up to meetings. You're not there. You don't have a vision for the executive committee. You're not even going with the president's vision. You understand what I'm saying? It's almost like I'm on the executive, and so what? What does that mean?
Good. I want to hear what G guys say. I got to follow up that.
So I got two issues. Like, for instance, we're not talking bad about anything. So I'm just gonna. It's for fact.
No.
So the bylaws committee, right, voted that the nominating committee, or is it the nominating committee, does not pick the superintendent
of what? Schools?
Of schools.
Okay.
Right? That decision was made. Remember when I went up to Northeastern to talk about term limits for delegates?
Right.
I told you about that.
No, but go ahead.
Right, but that decision was made in July or August, that the K through 12 board picks, or they get a search committee to pick the superintendent, but traditionally the nominating committee.
The nominating committee does that.
Wait a minute. Let me be on their side for a second. Hold on.
No, that's not the point.
He's not saying whether it's right or wrong.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Gary Graham,
right,
don't like it. All right, but
sure.
I don't. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't get to make that decision. That comes on the floor, right?
No.
I'm
I'm
saying it came to the floor.
I understand that, but here's what I want you to know. The bylaws committee is a working body. It's a working, it doesn't happen at one time, right? It's something that they meet. They're supposed to meet.
The secretary of the conference is in control of that bylaws committee at all times.
Right. Go ahead, Gary.
Right.
It convenes.
The point that I'm trying to make is that
right.
the point that I'm trying to make is there is an opportunity, and there are times where you, as a person who returns tithe as a church, get to address the Constitution and Bylaw Committee.
Yes.
So by the time you get to the floor or whatever, it's way too late.
No, it's not.
It's never too late.
Not too
it's
late.
Never too late.
Well, hold on. It's too late if you don't know better. Because the reason why I use that, the reason why I say it's too late is that the point is that I could have got up there and I could have got up there, which I kind of did last time. Like, no, it's unfair. But by the time your boy said vote red cards, no, yes cards, yes, and you do the inflection of your voice or whatever, by the time it gets to the floor, you probably lost your
all right.
Okay.
So here's
well, wait, then the second thing is I know you guys. Second thing is that the issue that I had, I'm gonna use my.
Yeah, we need to have this thing. We need to have this thing, Pat. Next subject. What's that? What's that? Interruption.
PTI.
PTI.
Yeah, October 22nd. 20 years. Great show. 20 years it'll be going. And the other thing is that when I went, and I'm gonna say it right here, I took a shot in the dark. Right? There's nobody on the executive committee that's a social worker or a doctor. Where we need to take care of mental health, or we need to take care of what's going on with COVID. There's nobody on that committee that's like, hey, hold on a second, you can't do that. You understand?
I understand.
Or if we have camp meeting, they should say, well, if you're an elderly person, you need to come in at 8:00 instead of 9:00, or a mask review. There's nobody.
Okay, so, this is the issue, Gary. This is the issue. The issue is you have a director that's a health person, right? Way too often, the health person is talking about what Adventists do is concerning health instead of community health. So again, that's what we're talking about when you are choosing directors.
The NAD says,
Gary, please listen. Here's the biggest issue that I have: pastors. We keep putting pastors in positions when pastors are to be pastors. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I agree with. Okay? I agree with that.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that pastors cannot get a second degree or love this or love that or have a passion for so and so. I'm not saying that. But look at communications. Communication does not necessarily have to be a pastor. The secretary of the conference does not have to be a pastor. You understand where I'm coming from? Health person does not necessarily have to be a pastor. Family life does not necessarily have to be a pastor. But what we're doing is, and what you're seeing is, when these this is the worst time for conferences because now we see the motives come out.
Okay, can hold on. Let's look at the other side of that though. The other side of that is you're calling out directors. Okay. When you call out directors, you got to ask yourself the questions in the conference. What is the role of the directors?
You're right.
This is the reason why I would prefer, I didn't say I would prefer pastors in those positions who have a specialty or at least know how to refer and bring in or expand their team.
I got no problem with that.
Me
I have no problem.
Me neither.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish because I think this is the problem that happens in Adventism. The breakdown of all of that is this: the president of the conference is I'm talking about my conference, is the supervisor to the directors.
Yes.
Right? There's no in between. My director, the president, then come the directors. The directors are his right hand line
Yes.
into the ministries
Ministries.
of 130 something churches.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's why I'm making that statement. The president comes up with the vision. Only one person, an executive committee, does not come up with the vision of the church.
Right.
Can we just go spiritual?
It's fact.
I understand that.
Let's go spiritual with this right now,
I
right?
understand that.
We're not talking about it as a business right now, but the president must be a spiritual person because God must speak to that person, giving them the vision. The vision from that president breaks down now to the directors. Okay, youth, health, apparel, women's ministry, right? It just goes across the board.
I understand that. What you're saying, a president needs their team. I'm with that.
Right.
Okay.
But hold on, their
I'm with
team.
that. But the executive.
But let me make hold on. I need to make my point with that. The members of his team need to know how to talk to the managers of the churches, which is the pastors. Right. The problem that will come about is if you come on the president's team and you don't know how to defend or you don't know how to speak to pastors. Pastors, you have to be able to communicate to pastors what the president's vision is to get to the churches.
Absolutely.
So for example, Paul, you made a good statement. What if we picked up a youth advocate that wasn't a pastor? Social work advocate for youth that wasn't a pastor. That person comes in and that person now has to discuss with 138 churches how to keep Pathfinders, Adventurers, AYS, this, that, and the other. That person would be at a disadvantage because that person does not understand ministry.
I understand, Pat. I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to be clear. I'm going to be clear about this, right? I get that. But you also got to remember that a president is the one that is daily, not weekly. He's daily dealing with his team.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, I agree.
And so,
and people don't see that. People don't see that.
Never.
Pastor Charles Tapp deals with his team every day. You understand where I'm coming from? Sure. Through his AdCom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, clearly. So through his,
I got to break. I got to break you on. I got to make a break on that. That's where my problem comes in. I think the president of the conference deals directly or should deal directly to the directors. That is his front line on the football field.
I understand, Pat, but what I'm saying to you is that I'm here. I'm an associate director. So I'm in the field. I'm in the field. Heather is in the field. There's certain individuals that are in the field and not in the office.
Sure.
So before it gets to me, because I'm not a director,
right?
He is dealing with his AdCom. His AdCom has communications on there. His AdCom has all these individuals on there.
Oh, okay.
Who advises him?
I go with that too.
Okay, cool.
Because the director should have the feel of the land.
There you go. There you go. So the breakdown of churches.
My thing is this: is if you have a director, and that works with the pastor, the people on the executive committee kind of got to keep some checks and balances. Am I not right?
They don't know how.
No, they don't know how.
Okay. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
They're not taught.
You mean that's not my problem?
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I've seen it.
That's not my problem. Hold on, Paul. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
That's not my problem because the nominating committee picks the people on the executive committee.
All right.
And there's 50,000 people in Northeastern, right?
Okay.
So here's my point, right? So I'm going to use Jules for instance, right? And I'm not trying to knock anybody. Jules comes in and we all know this. It's like, do we know how many suicides were last year? You know, there was a rash of suicides in South Carolina and Los Angeles of young people. Okay. Right. So somebody needs to say, who's the youth leader for this? Who's the youth leader for this or whatever? Pat, I've seen every number possible that Honore put up. How many churches was bought or whatever, right? I need to know how many people went to the hospital last year and how many people were sick by COVID last year. Things like that
Okay.
are real numbers. And then
But
what are we doing about that stuff? So the pastor could be the head of youth. The pastor could be the head of health or even Pathfinders. But there are people in the constituency of Northeastern, Allegheny East, Potomac Conference that are experts that could come to them and say, you can do this and you can do that, whatever. There are people who do it for no money. But
And
when
your
you see things,
directors should find the experts.
and
The
the director
experts,
should know that your director, you're right, your director should know, not no seminar, not no presentation. You need to come in there and be like, yo, and I said this, and I have no problem saying this. It's like when I told Paul and Pastor last year, Paul and Pastor Brown, I said, yo, you need to close this church down now. Well, I said, okay, go to your doctors in your, this Paul did this. Go to your doctors in your church. All right. You'll be glad. Paul and Ephesus closed 2 weeks prior to the
Sure.
country shutting down.
Sure.
I know for a fact there's people who kept their churches open after Northeastern shut down. That
Right.
stuff needs to be dealt with, because if it happens again,
Right.
or
Okay.
we have another
So
crisis.
here's the thing, Gary. It's not the health department of the Northeastern Conference or Allegheny East or whatever to enforce that. It is for the
No, I'm
admin.
not.
I know.
I'm
I'm not.
asking them to enforce that. I know that.
I know. I understand that. It is for administration to enforce that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
But
so
if
that's
you
why
had somebody on the, if you have somebody on the executive committee, right? Because they hold a
let me
lot
stop
of
you there.
influence.
Let me stop you there. It is the president's job that when you get an executive committee together, you take them on a retreat and you teach them what
enough,
their
Pat,
job
enough.
is.
That's all. That's it.
Pat,
Enough.
I
Enough.
got no Pat.
Yeah,
Pat,
we're talking
Pat,
to
I
the
got no
masses.
problem.
Hold on, Gary. We're talking to the masses.
I'm not talking. Pat,
Let
I'm
me
not
just
talking about
let me
that.
just say the
What I'm
reason
just
why we
trying-
don't do it. Gary, hold on. The reason why we don't teach the executive committee the power they have is because we have to give up our power
For the
when we
executive
teach
committee.
them what their
Okay,
power
okay,
is.
Pat.
Good
Let me
point.
let me tell you what I've
again,
learned.
hold on, Paul. Hold on. I'm gonna bang this in the head, right?
Go ahead.
There's no reason in this time and age an executive committee does not have a social worker or a doctor or a medical doctor on that executive committee.
You don't need one.
Everybody needs to.
You don't need one, G.
Yeah, right. You don't, Gary.
You don't need one.
Here's the issue, Gary. The issue is that no matter how you slice it and dice it, I'm the kind of guy that want good relations with pastors. I used to be a youth man. Just because I can speak it, I know where I am. I know what my thing is. I know where Patrick's thing is. I know what your thing is. And what's scary about being the president is
He has to
you're gonna
juggle
find
everybody's
people
thing.
like you, Gary, who said this is the main thing, and he's like, "No, I got a $4 million budget. I need to take care of that. It's only lasting.
I understand,
that
I
can make
understand
decisions
that.
on." Right.
I understand that.
Right. What Patrick is saying also, which I agree with you too, Gary, because what I'm saying, what I'm hearing from you, Gary, is, and then we can move on to something else. Then we can move on to something else.
No, I like this. Why?
Well, I want to bring on Chris Cheatham. That's why. But listen closely. One of the biggest things is that I'm sad to say this, that regional conferences have been carrying itself like a mom and pop organization. And hey, daddy, should we buy more so-and-so for that shelf over there? Yeah, it's okay. When you find other organizations who will rely on the committees around them to help them make the decisions. So when I got fired from Northeastern, one person can get up and say, well, you know what? This is the decision that I'm making, and this is what we're going to do. And everyone says, well, okay, this is what we're going to do. Well, the president said it. Yo, in a true balance of power, it would be give us an understanding. Give us a so-and-so. So let us look at how can we do so? Oh, you understand what I'm saying, Pat?
I
But
do
no one
understand.
does that.
I
No one takes
understand.
them on a retreat and teaches them
That's right.
how to do certain things. That's why you got more conferences that get sued because one person's making a decision and he doesn't understand what's going on around him.
Well. Here, and I agree. Listen, we agree. I agree with everything we're saying. What's going on is that the business of the church, and this is going to sound really corny, is ministry, saving souls. That is what it is. So when I hear Gary say, no. When I hear Gary say there needs to be a doctor on the executive committee and there needs to be a health czar on the executive committee, I say no. I say the directorship should outfit that. That's right. Where so if I'm a health person, the health person should say, executive committee, listen to me carefully. Executive committee, I'd like to bring Dr. So-and-so to be on our staff so that we can get the top numbers, social workers on our staff, so-and-so on our staff to come down to the extra rung. I don't see them on the executive committee to try to make decisions dealing with health when you already have a health person that's there to do it.
So Pat, let me tickle your fancy and both of you saying that.
Okay.
And I know we're brothers and we're on this platform. Why do you think I said that? Because they had years to do that and that has never been done.
And guess whose fault? Hold on. You made a mistake when you said the nominating committee is the most powerful. It's the people.
It's the people.
The people who are the most powerful. And guys, let me tell you something. It can be done, right?
We've seen it been done.
Here's what I'm saying. When you pass down the information must get to the people for the people to turn around and say, this is what we want.
And I'm going to tell you what it is. There is the new evangelism is transparency.
That's it.
That's a new evangelism.
That's it.
Transparency. And until we find that our leaders are transparent.
I wish Dad was here to straighten y'all out, man.
Well, because Daddy, you see, here's the problem. Then I'm done because I'm excited about this brother. Right. Let me be clear about this, right? The reason why we're the way we are, what is it called, Pat? Robert's Rules of Order. Daddy understood Robert's Rules of Order. Remember, Daddy didn't just do this in church. Remember, he used to work for the unions. So when he's getting up in church and he's saying, wait, hold on a second, there's an issue that I'm having right there. And so whatever. And these presidents are saying, oh no, this, that, and the other. What Daddy has taught us in the past is that if you don't know your parliamentary procedures, then you're going to be controlled. And parliamentary procedure is not for people to have power. It's to balance the power. You understand where I'm coming from?
I agree.
And that's the only reason why you got to get. You don't really got to listen
to who has been paying attention in school.
Anytime the Graham say one more thing and I'm done.
Hey, Gary and Pat, I just wanted to let you know.
Lie.
All right, let's go. Let's bring on the novice. Let's bring on the novice for a second. Gary and Pat, and for the world, all those who are watching.
What we tell you about stop bringing good-looking people on this show, man.
You're right, Gary.
We told you about bringing light-skinned people online. We don't want that. You don't want that.
Especially light-skinned people with braids and dreads. You know what I mean?
Right. he just pulled right back off. He jumped right off. Come on back. I can't hear you. Come on back. Check your mute.
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
Oh man. If you got to go out and come back in, go ahead and go out and come back in.
Try to go out and come back in.
Wendell says he carries his Robert Rules of Order book to his meetings. You got to know it, Wendell. You got to know it.
It should. You should. When you get to a place, hold on.
Don't think Black Adventists about Robert Rules of Order is point of order. Anybody say point of order in a meeting, it's going to be trouble.
I'm going to tell you something. We don't call enough point of order. We don't do it right.
There you go.
Anytime you hear people calling point of order, that means they know that we're really talking out of turn, out of something.
Right. or the subject matter is not dealing with the
you're not
subject
dealing with
at
the
hand.
subject matter, right? So that's, and let me tell you this, G, I agree with you. The whole point where I think you're really trying to say is that the church needs to move with the times, whether it's health, whether it's politics, whatever is going on. The church needs to move with the times. What you got to be careful of is that you don't want to give up the church to. I get an example. We have there's because this guy is educated in theology, he's an atheist.
Absolutely.
And they made him a chaplain of, I forgot what it was. Paul, do you remember what it was? They made him a chaplain. He's an atheist and they made him a chaplain of something. I think it's a school or something they made him a chaplain of because he has the degree. I'm going to say, everybody going to get upset with me at this. People who are chosen on the office level, directorship level, president level,
Philip said it. Phil said it. He's at Harvard.
At Harvard. He's an atheist, right?
Wow.
As a chaplain, he's an atheist. We can hear you. We can hear you. Here's what I want you to Here's what I want you to understand. The problem with our church is when we're picking and when we're choosing our leaders, we don't do it prayerfully. We do it according to how I can benefit if or when that person is in.
Oh, Pat, don't open a can of worms because
Okay, I'm just
we
saying.
must have prayed before every vote and every ballot.
I don't
What
believe in
happened?
that.
You can't
So what I'm
pray.
just trying to say is that there are, Pat, Paul, I'm just trying to tell you from the floor. People is like, here we go again. Here we go again. You know, it's just like, I don't want to sound like it's, I'm just trying to give you from where it is. I'm in the stands where people are like, no, we got to pray again. We got to pray for the treasurer. We got to pray for the secretary.
I don't believe in rabbit's foot prayers. That's rabbit foot prayers to me.
Okay, you said it. I get
But
it. I
again,
didn't
but
have a
again,
term
this,
for it.
but again, Gary, this has been the best. This has been the best that we've seen.
No, you mean the quietest. It doesn't mean it's the best.
Paul, let me just put it
I
this
agree.
way, right?
I agree, Pat. I agree.
If it didn't happen, it would have looked bad. You understand?
I understand.
We
I understand.
we could have a fight on the show right now, and then we have to go back and next show we're gonna say we're gonna make sure we don't fight and you don't bring up my wife or you don't
That's
bring up
right.
this. You
That's
understand?
right.
So
Yeah.
let's put that all together. If so there was a burden to make sure it looked decent. So let's throw that out. Let's throw that.
All
out.
right. Yo, let's get it, Pat. All right, good.
All right,
Pat,
that's
how did
it.
you get a Cheatham? How do we get a Cheatham in Potomac Conference, Pat?
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's Allegheny East all the way. The last name is Allegheny East all the way. So I don't even know how you got them. So that the system is broken.
That's royalty.
The system is broken if a Cheatham is in Potomac Conference. That's all.
I'm not going to speak on that.
Yo, listen. Hey, listen, man. When Cheatham came in, I remember
I'm feeling. Sorry, Paul.
when Cheatham came in, his name came up that he was going to Tacoma Park Church, right? That was your first church, right?
Yeah.
Right. Somebody said, who? Cheatham. Who? I can remember Elder Wright saying, Cheatham? You know what I'm saying? Yo, how? Listen, you know that you could have gone over to Allegheny East. What was your head at that? For real, what was your head?
Okay. I don't know who's watching this show right now. So
Nobody watches this show, bro.
Don't say that, Gary. Don't say that.
all I'll say is, okay, so going through seminary and trying to figure out where I wanted to go. I prayed about it and all that kind of good stuff. And I wanted to go to Potomac because I wanted to live in Maryland. I'll say that. But my heart, Miguel,
That's your boy Miggs.
don't pay attention too closely, dude. Don't watch too closely.
That's your boy Miggs.
I wanted to go to Potomac, but at the same time, my heart was still in Allegheny East. Of course, I had reached out. I had talked to people already, but I'm trying to word this properly. The word that was given was that Allegheny East wasn't hiring. So I said, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Potomac was apparently, and even the way that whole thing went down was, man, it was something special. It was something special. But when I first went to seminary, my plan was to go to Allegheny East, but it just didn't work out that way, and that's all I'll say.
But look at your faith, man. You got to work with.
Hold on,
you got to work with Elder Wright.
Yeah. And listen, man. So
it doesn't matter anymore. You forget the lines. No, forget the lines. There's no black, white. Matter of fact, Potomac Conference is a black conference.
Listen, that's what I saw when I got here. I was in a room full of black folk. I was like, okay, well,
my bad. It's regional. It's a regional conference. I shouldn't say black conference. It's a regional conference.
But Potomac is a true regional conference because it's not a state conference. You know that, right? All right, good. Listen, I remember when you went over to work with Wright. For you, what was it like working with Wright as a new? Because you were in engineering before, weren't you?
Yeah. My undergraduate degree is in chemistry. So shout out to all those that are going to Del State. I saw some pictures on Facebook today. Hornets.
Yes. I saw it too.
Right. So I went to Del State, did chemistry. And while I was at this company called Dentsply, I was a quality laboratory technician. So I won't get too deep into that. But while I was working is when God called me to go out to ministry. So I said, okay, I had a whole career, wasn't even thinking about ministry, went on out, did the thing. I worked about an hour away from where I lived. Every morning on my way to work to try to stay awake, I was listening to Henry Wright sermons every morning. Like Henry Wright for me was that dude. And that was before I got into ministry or was even thinking about ministry. Henry Wright was that dude. So I was at work. I was working for 2.5 years, and I was listening to all this man's sermon. There was this one series he did on the Holy Spirit that was just incredible.
Crazy that he did at CPC.
Yes,
crazy.
Yes, incredible. So, man,
listen. I'm gonna say, let me cut you off just for a second.
Yeah.
What he said, Gary, you got to hear this. This is the first time I heard someone say, "Acts of the Apostles." It's not Acts of the Apostles. He said, "Acts." In the Bible is the acts of the Holy Spirit at work. I was
yes. Yo, and that is stuck with me the entire time.
Yeah.
So learning that I was going to figure I was going to Potomac, and then learning I was going to be with Henry Wright. I remember the first time this dude called me and talked to me on the phone, and then said my name. Like I'm trying not to geek out, like he's like I'm trying to say like serious, like he's like Cheatham, hey Pastor Wright. Deep down inside I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Pastor Wright. And he's like, welcome to the family. We're glad you're going to be able to come and work here, and we're excited to have you on. I've seen some of your sermons. I see you're a preacher, and I can't wait to have you. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, Pastor Wright. Man, I'm doing flips and jumping around like I couldn't believe it, man.
Nobody could talk to you that day. You just
listen.
Like, what?
Listen.
You know to play for him, Patrick. Is there one?
Man, and then to work with this dude.
Father God, lay your hands on the one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a is there one moment right there, no doubt.
Somebody said Pastor Wright is my favorite pastor. After you guys, of course.
We need to get him up. We need to get him up on here.
Y'all do. And I'll say this too. And this is something I learned I didn't know. And I know what I'm saying when I say this. Pastor Henry Wright is a better pastor than he is a preacher.
That's big. That's big talk right there. Then,
yes,
brother. Let me tell you something right now. What Henry Wright wants, Henry Wright gets.
Yeah.
He knows the people.
Mm-hmm.
He checks on them. He calls them.
Yep.
Yo, can I flip it back for you for my first conversation? Why would you want to be a president when you could be the best that you can be in your own shoes,
in your own sphere? in your own sphere.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
You know, people ask me all the time, man, one day, Pat, no. It's not no. The question is, who can you influence the most in the seat that you sit in? If Henry Wright was the president, there's some sermons he can't preach.
Right. Yeah,
Well,
that's facts.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you, Cheatham, for a second, based on what Pat just said. One of the reasons why I'm rejoicing over your life is because I remember when you came in. In fact, I'm not trying to pull no punches or but when you were with Elder Wright, you were preaching like very often at Tacoma Park when you were with Henry Wright. Because Henry Wright was like, yo, listen, I must decrease when you must increase. That's how he is.
Yep.
I have to say this on an administrative level. I saw you come into a church in a pandemic, and listen, I am lifting you up. I'm giving you flowers now to a church that was not even.
Let me just cut it up. Paul talked about you all the
I
time.
thought he was dating you.
I thought you was Jesus Jr. Paul bragged about you all the time. This kid is a superstar. You gotta go down, whatever. I'm just gonna say he talked. Paul don't talk about people like that all the time, especially the younger.
Gary,
I just want to let you know the truth.
The last time Paul talked about somebody like that was Shaquille O'Neal coming out of LSU.
Mercy.
That's true.
Mercy.
No, that's true.
That's true.
No.
I was
And
like,
the other
when I
person Paul
meet this
talked about
kid-
that. The other person Paul talked about like that was Biggie Smalls.
Biggest
Wow.
That's
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, no
We're not lying.
pressure. No pressure at all.
None at all. You go on, my brother.
It's true. Hey, look, Miguel said, yeah, I was bragging about him last week too. Yes, it's true. It's true.
And
I
Paul,
had come.
and Miggs is my man.
I know.
Miggs is mad.
Where's Mix
Miggs
going?
mad.
Where's Mix going?
Don't worry about it. We're gonna find the place.
No, I thought he's at first. Wasn't he at First
Why y'all
Church?
doing Miggs like that?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, keep playing around, Pat. Y'all keep playing around because they took Latoya. Central States took Latoya.
I saw that.
All right.
saw that.
Yeah, Miguel's that dude though.
Paul, I got that too. Paul, your lights just flickered.
My lights was flickering, man.
Mine too. It looked like Bowie about to go out. So let's get Pastor Cheatham to cuss before we leave.
Yo, what I recognize
He
is
said Miggs is going to heaven.
one thing that I realized is that we knew where Pennsylvania Avenue Church was, Pasdak Church was, when you came in. We were on a small climb, just a small climb. And the conference said, yo, would you take Cheatham? I was like, to do what? We don't even make enough money. You remember we weren't making enough money for two pastors, much less one, because we brought you on as a pastor at RPC, but you're really at
Right.
Yo, to make a long story short, we're sitting in a meeting the other day, and we're like, we already ordained him. What are we gonna do now for his installation? Went through the books. He said, do you know that in a year, this guy went to no formula for a pastor to 1.4, which means, Pat, he can get a pastor and a part-time.
Yeah, that's good.
You see where I'm coming from? So
good stuff.
I'm sitting back there while they talk. I'm sitting there like this. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's my guy right there. That's my guy right there. All I gotta say is, man, your installation coming up tomorrow, man. We're proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I'm excited,
Definitely
man.
proud of you, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this before we let you go. Two things. Your wife. Your wife has an MDiv, doesn't she?
Yes. Amber Dawn Onika Cheatham has her degree in youth and young adult ministry.
Gary. The dude called out her full name.
Hey, listen, I just want the people to know. She is her own person,
Sounds like it, bro.
Yes.
Sounds like it. Yo, we understand. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
So how would she take a pastoral team? You and her being there as a pastoral team.
No, she would love it. And see, that's the thing people don't understand. Like, when it comes to her, she is on a completely different level.
I heard.
Yeah.
You heard about her during the ordination.
Yes. Yes, people sleep on her, and people. It's funny. Like whenever she gets into a church and she shines and does just a little bit of something, everybody grabs onto it, man. Everybody grabs onto it
Hey,
because
listen.
what she does is so excellent.
And listen, don't feel bad, man. That's that doesn't take anything out of your household, my brother.
Hey, listen, I don't feel bad at all.
When like Pucky's wife, anytime Pucky's wife starts speaking, Pucky Fordham.
Yeah.
When Pucky's wife start preaching, sometimes we look at Pucky and be like, yo, you haven't even begun.
Yep.
Right? That's when you turn around and you be like, yo, now that's some Jesus in the household. Happy at home.
Right.
I remember when we were showing the Cheathams the building.
Oh yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. Chris, you're just like, oh, that's nice. All right, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's nice. His wife was like, oh, I see a vision here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She was,
Yep.
oh, I see a vision there. I was like, oh man,
And it ain't curtains.
Right.
for sure, man, for sure. So then, if I asked you, what is your vision? 2, 3 years. Somebody just text me.
Are you interviewing him
like,
or what are you doing? I
What'd you
thought he was already in. Are you interviewing him?
I just want to know what his vision is, man.
That's the last step, right? Before tomorrow.
Before you come over to Allegheny.
Dude, your wife is Caribbean, isn't she?
Yeah, she's Guyanese. Mhm.
Guyanese.
Mhm. Yep,
Guyanese.
100%. But
Wow.
yeah, man, the way that I see the church is just where they're positioned. They should be just ripe in the community. And from what I've heard, there was so much that they were doing in there before, and for some reason, all that fell off. And there's literally an apartment complex right behind the church. It's right there, So I mean, this church should be a force in the community, and that's what I want.
Gotcha.
And that's what we're trying to build up now. Is we're trying to kind of build those small things back up, building back up see the flags, building back up the food pantry was one thing that we're starting to try to do, and I really want to intertwine that with evangelism, because my thing with evangelism is I think sometimes we kind of forget that it should be holistic. It's not just about preaching the word or going out and preaching this Revelation seminar. Evangelism should be an entire focus. It should be word and action, because that's who God is. God is not just word. God is word and action. So that's what the church should be like. If we're the body of Christ, we should be emanating Christ, and not just giving people word, but giving people food at the same time. So I think that's what we'll be able to
do. He's worthy. He's
See,
worthy.
the thing is, we ain't bring you on here for that. All right, to start. We ain't bring you on for that. But since
Trying to take our job.
You played me, Pat.
You got your boy, I got my boy.
Miguel, what's up, man?
What's going on, Chris? What's going on, y'all?
And I think if Gary had to vote, go ahead, G.
I'm not voting. I'm taking them both.
Listen, because there's room enough. There's room enough.
Look, we got 2 big boys. Mrs. Graham can cook. Miguel will tell you that right now. Chief, you can come here NYC anytime. Leave your wife, me, you, Miguel, play some 2K, and watch some football and eat some oxtail, vegetarian
Miguel,
oxtail.
Migs, Gary is not spiritual. Okay, Cheatham. Gary is not spiritual. I want to put that out.
More spiritual than y'all two. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. We can run a poll right now. And
don't run a poll.
Don't run a poll. Don't run a poll.
I thought you had fake, Jonah. I thought you had fake.
Paul, anytime you're ready to take him out, take him out.
No
Miguel,
problem.
since Paul went on his spiel, I just wanted to know, Miguel, how was your installation over at First Church, one of our first churches, the large churches in
You got a sunflower seed. You got a sunflower seed in your throat.
Don't worry about that. I got my Snapple. We good with that. So I just want to know how your first day was. If Paul got to come on, bring on light skin, let me bring on dark skin. I just want to know how. I want to know how it went, Migs. Just before we let Cheatham go, I just want to know how Migs did. Go ahead.
Oh, I see. Keep playing around, Pat. Keep playing around.
Right. right. Listen, you can't pit us against each other.
Nah.
Already, bro.
Yeah,
You can't do it.
Nah.
You can't do it.
Paul, they're the smart ones.
No one wins.
Nope.
Nope. Paul, they're the smart ones, Paul. They're not even getting with it. They're just gonna be like, nah. Paul, let me tell you what their problem is. They're gonna be like, nah, Paul, let's not fight against each other because they're gonna be two old frogs. And we're gonna be we gonna be visiting them, so that's okay.
Yo, man, to answer your question, all right. So first thing first, I met Gina Brown last week.
Okay.
I met her last week.
Okay.
And I tried to hold myself in because I was excited from the last time she was on.
Yeah.
Snack time.
Yes.
But I didn't want to make it seem like I'm a stalker, so I try to play it cool and whatnot.
She a little powerhouse, Meg. She a little powerhouse.
Look, she's cool, man. Look, it was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because, we really haven't been in the building for that long.
Right.
But it felt amazing just being in that space.
Sorry, guys. I can't go with that. Keep talking.
Yo, it was
Man, Pat, you couldn't even throw on the organ, huh?
Meg, go behind this one. Yeah, it was a beautiful day when we walked in there.
Look, man. Look, y'all. At the end of service, we outside of the church. They had food. These people gave us curry chicken.
They real.
Yo,
We ate curry chicken on the steps of the church.
come on, man.
Well, let me
Come
say, because it was offered on the steps of the church. Okay, it was offered. They had chickpeas. Yeah.
Amen.
I won't tell you what was on my plate. Okay.
Hey,
But I heard oxtail will be
on.
on the welcome table. That's what I heard.
Yes, sir.
That's what I
On
heard.
the Earth Made New, though. On the Earth Made New.
What you got? Was it? Oh, G jump. I think Gary's phone went off.
look, I've been trying to explain to people, and this is something I've been doing since I was young. Look, God can.
Is that what you mean? New people, huh? New people getting pulled up. Turn your camera to the side, Toya. Turn your camera to the side.
Yo, you gotta watch your mouth the way you call her. She's pastor to you, okay, bro?
I'm sorry, Pat. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry.
Now watch your mouth. She's pastor
I'm
to
sorry,
you.
Pastor.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Pastor, congratulations. No, listen, don't act like you can't preach and you can't do it. Don't act like you're too close to Sabbath to acting like you're shy. Not today.
I don't even
Not
know
today,
what
preacher.
this is, but hello, how's everybody? Oh my Lord.
Do it
We
good.
good.
Do it good.
We're talking to folks that are no longer interns or waiting. You know what I'm saying? Or in waiting.
Oh,
It's
Guys
Hey,
are
God
no
is
longer
good.
in waiting.
it's
Yes, he is.
or we pushing them to get the full check. That's what it is. It's either one or the other, or we pushing to get the full check.
I'm hollering. Well,
So
thank
Northeastern
you.
got robbed.
I'm happy.
Northeastern got robbed.
Northeastern slept.
Oh,
Yeah,
She heard-
put the Toya under me. I
got
Okay,
you.
yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
I got you, G.
All right, there you go.
Yep, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
All
All right,
All
now
right, there
where
we
it
go.
was supposed to be. Now where it's supposed to be. Paul, you heard what she said? She said Northeastern slept.
ooh.
Yo, listen. I'm going to say this. I have no problem saying this. I couldn't get her because of policy.
And Potomac
Mm.
slept
But your boy
too.
Kristen was like, I don't care about policy. I'm getting her.
And he put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You saw the way he
And
put
he
on
put it on Facebook.
So like an administrator could suspend things.
Can I
put people
tell
on the
you?
executive committee,
I don't
right?
know
If
if
they really wanted to.
I don't know if he would come on, but yeah, but Kristen, there was another conference that called and it was like
I know what it is.
Like,
I know what
no,
it is.
We're not gonna play that. So
It's all right. I just don't want them to steal Migs from me because Migs
No, make
is
it- make it happen.
Migs is in the mix. Migs is in the middle ground. I don't want them to take them from me.
Look, I'm ready to go to heaven. That's why I'm at.
Migs, this is not about heaven. Migs, this is not about heaven bound right now. I told you about that.
That's a great answer.
Is there one?
Yeah, no.
I don't know if
Migs is
Come.
a veteran.
Won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come?
She's stuck. Latoya, go ahead.
well I'm gonna need I'm gonna need you guys.
Anybody got what she said?
No.
I wonder if she's saying prayers or whatever.
Absolutely.
Should I
Or money?
take her
I'm
out?
gonna need you guys money. Either one or either one or the other.
Listen, Kriston is moving like Pat Riley right now, man.
Yo, he's doing some crazy stuff.
Who's that?
You said
Kriston.
Pat. You said
Kristen,
Pat
Kristen,
Riley.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris.
He's moving like Pat Riley.
Yeah, and let me tell you
No, but
something.
he's Roger Bernard's number 2, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
VP. He's vice
VP.
president.
Wow.
He's vice president over there.
But let me tell you what he's been doing. He's been building a team from like a year and a half ago. He
Long
started
time
building a
ago.
team.
Long time
You know,
ago.
Christian is part Wakanda too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's
He's
one of the founders of Wakanda.
He one of the
Oh, yeah.
pastors of that.
Yeah. Mhm.
No, founder.
Hey,
Bro.
Gary and Pat, man, I got a blessed house and all that kind of stuff like that.
No. No.
Okay, Pat. Okay.
No. Y'all be mad at me when I it's time for me to go. Natalie has been calling me to go to the Amish market over there on 197 or whatever, 198. So y'all gonna have to wait until we finish. We make sure Miggs is fully picked up. And that's right.
Are you saying to
Yo,
me?
you know they close at like 4:00 now, right?
Don't tell me, or else I'm in trouble. I'll be staying. Please don't tell me that.
You just go to Pennsylvania Avenue first tomorrow for an anointing.
Please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me they closed. They can't be closed. It's not Sabbath for them. Please,
Yo.
please, the Amish market.
They've been closing at like 4:00 because there's been a shortage. Like, you know, with COVID affecting everything, they ride the bus everywhere. So because you know they can't drive. So because they don't have enough bus drivers to come out there, they gotta leave by like, hey, maybe since that happened, because it's been a few weeks, maybe they changed it back. You know,
It's
I don't
not
want
that. It's not. Cheatham, I needed you to come with good news of Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I gotta come with the truth, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. I'm Adventist. It's the truth or nothing.
I understand. My man took my heart like Jordan did Starks. You heard me. You heard me.
So hold on. So this position, is it full time yet, Pat?
We're pushing for it. We're pushing for it. We're all.
I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you if you're pushing for it.
We're all hands on deck. We're pushing for that. Hold on.
I didn't ask you.
Hold on, everybody. 1 second. Let me just remove him from the screen. let me just go ahead.
Yo, Pat.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to do that to your man, but you know he can't just jump on and ask questions like that. We are working this. Hey, Paul. Ew. You know. No, but honestly and truly, same thing, Chris. And I'm not just saying it like that, Paul. Thanks for bringing him on. But Miggs, me and Miggs got this thing called Hold the Line.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Hold the Line. Don't give up. It's the same thing when Chris was like, "Yo, I wanted to go to Allegheny East, but still God put me in the area or something of that nature." No, Miggs is not 100% on yet, but we want him 100% on, and everybody's pushing for it. So we hope that in this administration he'll be picked up. That's just the bottom line.
Well, he's also at a great place.
Yes.
He's also at a great place.
Yes.
The only time you can preach and play go-go music.
Yeah. But it's good, and I'm gonna still do it. I'm gonna continue to back until, and you know what I mean by that. I don't do it. Paul is out of a position where he can do it, but I'm gonna tell you this, Meg, you are anointed, and you just keep doing what you got to do. That's all. That's all. You keep doing what you got to do,
and your wife is fine.
That's also very true.
I got a joke for you. So we're there preparing for constituency meeting for Potomac. Okay. So your wife comes on. I think she's an auditor or something like that, or she's talking. Okay. And she's talking about the wellness of the conference or so whatever. I'm just kind of like, I can't tell you who I was talking to. You see this chick's skin color? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's true.
My man was like,
Paul, the first time she frightened me, she audited. She's on the auditing team for Allegheny West. I mean Allegheny East. I'm up there. they got books and books and books and checks for the whole time. And I'm sitting there like, what? I hope she don't look through my books because I don't remember what happened with my receipts. She was coming through, but that's good. And that's one of the reasons why I believe that God got something. Somebody said it closes at 7. Thanks, Mike Deutsch. Appreciate it.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I just checked Google. Chris was bringing the truth.
Oh no! It's on at 4. That joint's like at 4.
So it's 8:30 to 4 p.m. on Fridays.
It sounds like you're doing a funeral. Look at his head. He won't even pick up his head. G. Gary, look at his head.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Mix, do it again. But hold on. I want you to practice your the Jamaicans in New York call it the king's business. But it's what is it, Gary? It's like it's an announcement.
It's announcements. It's like
Announcement
announcement
from the desk.
Yeah,
Announcement from the desk.
Announcement from the desk.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead. We're ready.
So Dutch Country's farmers market will be closed on today. And according to the schedule, it opens at 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Please make your monies available during that time. Please be expeditious in your ventures because it will not open again until Thursday at 9 a.m. Until then, may the Lord watch between me and thee.
Hold on. I'm wheezing.
Oh man! You saw James said, "Please send your condolences."
On today.
On
today, Manda of God, Manda.
That's funny. Yo, listen, man. Come on, guys, man. I gotta get ready to roll out of here.
Actually, I gotta go myself.
And listen, listen, Paul.
Wait. I got one question. Wait. What's your sermon on tomorrow, man? For real.
Paul, you can't do that to him. What if he switches? What if
pray for
the gives him something different tomorrow?
I'm trying to steal Chris's sermon. That's what I'm trying to do.
Listen, Migs, I be watching. I watch. I'm okay. I'm gonna be honest with you all. Okay, I watch him every week.
I still
watch
wow.
every week. So I'm at and I'm gonna leave it at this. I got a text from Elder Wright right before I left RPC, preaching, and my phone went dead. It's coming back up, but he hits me up and he's like, some of us, because I was mad at some people, they keep staying home instead of watching online. He said some of us stay home because we tend to the sick. All right. He wrote me 12:35 while I'm preaching. Then he hits me and says, "You sound like an old man." Right? You told me I sound like an old man preaching on jewelry. Then I hit something on prophecy. He says, I haven't heard this one in a long time.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Then he hit me with one thing. I'm gonna kick you with one thing. One day he came to the church. Him, Pastor Black, all of them came out to the church. And I did this thing where everybody can get up and talk or whatever. Gave him the mic. Just gave him the mic. I gave him the mic. And when he finished, he was killing it. Him and James Black on was killing it. I get a text the next day. Give me a call. Call him up. He said, "I'm not you. I am not you. I don't speak extemporaneous. What is it called? I don't speak extemporaneous. Right." He said, "I don't speak like that. Don't ever let it happen again." Yo, I'm a grown man, dude. I was 50 at the time. Okay,
Paul, you're 51 now.
I was 50 at the time, and I'm sitting there like this. Okay, but Wendy
extemporaneous. There we go.
There we go. There goes.
Yeah, okay.
Wendy said something to me. She said, you didn't take that as a compliment? I don't think it was that bad. I think it was a compliment. What he said is, he can't do what you do. You don't think that's a compliment? I was like, yeah, maybe it's a compliment. Okay, it's a compliment. I'll tell you.
I don't care whatever
I'm telling you, Chris. I listened to you. I was at Atlanta right before I was preaching. I was listening. I said, "Oh, I'm taking that today." I'm taking that today.
Henry Wright preached a sermon on Genesis 6. The Ark Ventus. I ran that thing so bad that if somebody heard him speak it again, they be gonna be like, he got that from Pat.
Wow.
All right, so
Well, listen, let's let Cheatham go again. Congratulations to you.
Mix, thanks for jumping on.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
On your
Thank you.
installation.
Congrats, Chris.
Yeah, appreciate it, Miguel. Congrats to you too, man.
No.
on now.
I want you to come to the party at the restaurant when we get when the executive committee put Migs in. Okay.
Oh,
Hey.
That's when he's gonna get fired for the reggae. That we're gonna be rolling.
do I need to bring the fatted calf? That's what I want to know.
Before y'all leave. Before you leave. Before you leave.
Listen, the Advent is Pat Riley.
I wish I had Pat Riley.
Executive of the year.
No, sir. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing. We just getting ready to jump on. We just wanted to see you and make sure you don't steal any more of our people like you stole Northeasterns.
Hey,
Man,
Elder Josiah. Elder Josiah.
yes, sir.
I'd be more than willing to come out there Midwest and work for you in any capacity. I'll drive your van, brother.
Stop it, Gary. He's the
Hey,
thief
hey.
of Baghdad. You don't
Hey,
see him. He's
brother.
the thief of Baghdad.
You
Hey,
ain't got- you
I
ain't got
gotta
to
hop
say that
off. My
twice,
wife
man.
just pulled up from Costco and she needs help getting stuff out.
Please,
Yeah.
get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right, you. Nah, man. It's a blessing, man, to be in the work, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Whoa!
Hey, boss.
Yo, that's
Oh,
the line.
man.
Patrick, that's the line.
Yeah, that's gonna be the line. Hey, boss. Hey, what?
No.
Kristen,
Let me
you
let me
wrong
tell-
though. You wrong for what you put up on Facebook.
Listen, man. So I'm gonna tell Latoya like I tell all of our workers. You know, they don't work for us. We work
Somebody
for them.
mute. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't work for us. We work for them, man. You know, our pastors at the tip of the spear, man. So we believe that we're just a resource. We're the place where, you know, we might cut the check, but nah, they you know, we let them know we work for them, man. And for whatever reason, you know, sometimes it's hard to pull in, you know, these seasoned, you know, big time names like
Go ahead, Biden. Go ahead, Biden. I'm
like
listening.
the Grahams and stuff. You know, you can't get the Grahams.
Please
So,
go
you
ahead,
know,
Biden. We listening.
So what you got to do is you got to go to the draft, man. You got to go to the draft, man. And I praise God that for whatever reason, Northeastern, you know, you know, they had their minds and their eyes was focused elsewhere. That's good. I appreciate that. I like it.
Let me be very clear.
Hold
Let
on,
me be very clear.
No, Paul, wait. He running that Migs joint now. You didn't hear his voice just go pastoral?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and make your announcement.
No, man.
Yeah, listen. Let me be clear about this. When you wrote down,
Yeah.
I think it was hashtag out of compliance or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, so I was talking to Latoya like maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Didn't want to say nothing to her, this, that, and the other, but
Right.
the whole thing that got in there was with the compliance.
Right.
When she finishes, so and so, whatever, this, that, and the other, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, okay, I'll wait, and so, whatever. When you did that, and I was like, how in the did he get her? And you put out of compliance.
No. Man, look, man. So y'all know me, man. Y'all know me. Y'all know I don't care. If
Yep.
it's Bible, you got policy and you got the word. You got policy, you got the Holy Ghost.
You're right.
Bump policy. And I'm
You're right
saying,
about that. Hold on, Migs. You need to get off because he's not going to take you away from us.
Mix, you're in trouble. Just
No, get off now, Migs. Peace. I don't want him to take you away from us.
No,
Migs, I'm serious. Go ahead.
I'm out.
Yeah, please.
No, stay.
Hold on, stay.
Hey, no, I've been looking at me, man. We haven't. Listen, we haven't even met officially. You know, Facebook is something, man. You can just know people, man. You just know people are good people. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we got a couple spots right now.
Make
There are
All right, so
Patrick,
hold on,
come
look,
on, Pat. What's going on, Pat?
if I can pass the virtually, we can make it happen. But as for right now,
Hey, look,
we cannot move out this location. So
listen. And so what I was going to say was, right now we got a couple of seasoned tight churches, some mother churches in some cities that we won't bring in somebody that's a little bit too young just yet.
He said
But my eyes are always open, man. The way I see
it's
it,
true.
man,
It's true.
the way I see it, man, I'm about to be 50 in 2 years. So if I don't build, I know I look like I'm
You don't build a
25.
team.
No,
But nah, for real, I'm 48, man. And so if I
good
don't
stuff.
build a team, people who are locked in to finish
Yep.
the thing, the church gonna die. And I'm like, I'm not trying to hang on forever and ever. This is, you never know when the people are gonna want to go another route. So my thing is, while I'm in,
Do what you got to do while you're in.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I know, and I want to be really careful because at this point in time, executive committee have just spoken. So, and I hate to say this, you guys have all rights to Latoya, and I know.
Hallelujah.
Right, and I know that sounds like bad language, but it's really not bad language. There's a lot of policy that says once it passes over, if I wanted you right now, Latoya, and I have to pay, or I have to, if they pay a certain amount for certain things, we have to be in conversation or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how do you feel? And I'm saying this in front of your administration. How did the call feel when it came in?
Yeah, man.
And I know Elder Josiah, when we first spoke, I literally said,
I'm sorry, she just called him Elder Josiah. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
My parents
She's
always
so
told me that,
respectful.
in public, you just, you gotta give that respect. But I know I have the permission to call him Kristen.
She knows.
So
I'm just Kristen. I'm just Pastor Jay, whatever.
Right. When I first got the call, the first thing I think I said was like, I don't want to be played with. I just, I had gone through an experience in March that was very painful. I grew from it, but I didn't want to go through that again. And I had seen too many. Hey, Don. I had seen too many seminarians who go through some really painful journeys with some conferences. And one thing I learned through that experience was I learned my voice. I learned the power of my voice. And I can't say that, no, I will not be put through a process. If that means I will be working at McDonald's after I'm done with seminary and I have my dignity, then that is what's going to happen. But I was not going to go through that because I know I'm here because the only reason I'm here is because I heard the voice of God tell me to go.
Right.
And that also means that He's going to provide for me, but He will not shame me. He said in His word, He will not be put to shame. And I didn't want to go through that again. And so I asked Kristen, I said, are you guys playing or serious? Because if you're not, you're like, I could see y'all in like March for MOT.
I see you at Pelk. I see you at Pelk.
And he said, no, we're serious. And then, but what was the precursor to that was the day I got my citizenship. Ivan Williams called me like 7 in the morning to pray with me and also said congratulations. And I said, for what? And he's like, I got a call from the president who made his intentions to you, for you. And so I knew if they went through my former boss, who's also my big brother / mentor, that they were serious. And so I kind of said, okay. And then I had enough people around me. Paul, I texted you, and James, I checked. I was like, are these people credible? Because I haven't met them and I'm just not going through that again. I have to finish school. I'm not getting stressed out. And literally the Lord sent signs that they are mine. They are going to treat you with dignity. And the point is that I'm not a female than a pastor, right? Or I'm not a pastor than a female.
That's right.
I'm a female, and this happens to be my job. job. So
That's
I
right.
don't,
Let me
I don't
let
get
me
caught
just
up in
let me
that
just say what
stuff.
Phil let me just say what Phil Wesley has here. Latoya has been ready for a long time. She's already seasoned.
Absolutely.
Already.
Long time, long time.
Absolutely.
And I
You
Excellent.
want
know,
to I want to congratulate you
Thank you.
because this is not you know what's written in on earth is also written in heaven. You,
First.
and yeah, no, I do commend not just for the pickup, but the responsibility level is high.
Yeah.
To be able to say, no matter who I am or my past, and when I say that, I'm not inferring anything. I'm talking about all of us on the board here.
Infer it. Just infer it.
No.
Infer it, man. There's some
Uh,
people who would not have because of your past.
Yeah,
You know, of
Exactly.
people.
And
Right.
Paul knows. Paul knows me since I'm like 20 years old. Paul has
oh,
been
Paul,
there
we old,
through my
Paul.
two
We old.
marriages.
Patrick, stop
Paul,
it, Pat. We all old, you know. We
We
all
are.
old.
Paul knows. And Paul, do you remember when I was leaving Maryland and you and James anointed me,
Yes.
right? The house. You guys were the
Wow.
last ones to lay hands on me.
Wow.
And you two are the ones who know me the longest. You know my
Wow.
past and you knew my apprehension. And you said you gotta
Right.
be okay. Used your
You got
story, and he's
gotta
been
be okay.
faithful. So
And
he's been faithful.
go,
Can I jump in? Let me
go
be
ahead.
real. I'm gonna be real transparent, man. You know, and so Latoya and I connected, and you fellas know. I mean, I don't play. If we having a conversation, I'm gonna go through the process, and I share Latoya. This is what the process looks like with personnel, executive, all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna tell you what was powerful for me was hearing her story. You know what I'm saying? And so someone, I think Phil said, experience. She's been ready. Let me tell you, man. I was more than, I don't know if I was ready for it, but I could see the Holy Ghost all in it. So all the other stuff was just formality. All the other stuff was, and I kind of said this a few weeks ago when we had our union session. Man, if the Holy Ghost is on somebody,
Yeah.
what are we doing trying to play ordination, the word ordination with commission? Like, what is that? The Holy Ghost
Right.
is the one that
Right.
ordains. He's the one that appoints. He's the one that anoints. All we do is recognize what the Holy Ghost has already done. So for me, once I had I saw the resume. We made our call, talked to Ivan, talked to a few people. But man, once Latoya and I connected, even before we got to the interview, there was that sweet spirit that this is a woman of God. She
Right.
ain't
Yeah, but she's rough though. Listen,
All right.
let's talk the bad side. Let's talk about the bad side. All right. I'm gonna mute her because she got a little feedback. Let me mute her. Let me be clear. She's nobody to be played with. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody to be played with,
She
man.
knows what she wants to do. She
Absolutely.
sees the vision. She's running with it. But what I like what you did is that you put her with a good guy. Joe
Absolutely,
is
man. Phenomenal.
Joe is a great guy, and
Phenomenal.
his wife is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And so just maybe God has somebody for her in the Midwest.
Mercy. You know what? You know what? Listen, I want to put this out there for even Miggs, who's on the press. Listen. I want you to listen carefully to this, Miggs, and I don't put you on the spot. There are times she was never meant to go to Northeastern. Just hear me out. She was never meant to go anywhere else. This time is her time, and God had to speak through Kristen to say, you're the group. I'm just calling you as a confidant for him to be able to say, I got 10 more people on here, dudes and dudettes, that we could have gotten.
Yeah.
But this is the person right here, and the hard part of that is when you're in the holding pattern. And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and all of a sudden the tower says, come on in now. Even when your gas is close to E in the air. That's the best way that I can experience. I can tell you that out of experience.
Yeah.
Because people like Kristen got picked up before me. I was still in the fields gleaming, and you try to figure out how. And really, you got to ask God, when does my plane land?
Yeah.
Be patient. It'll land. Be patient.
Let me tell you, man. man, you said a whole lot right there, Pat.
Mhm.
You know, and so there are people who, as an administrator, you know, you get resumes. You know that there are people you can pull them right now.
Sure.
But man, it's, you know, wanting to be in the will of God, man.
Yeah. Mm.
That's the thing, man. And regardless
in spite of who you are, also
absolutely
being in the will.
being in the will, man. That's the thing I think is the heaviest for me as an administrator.
Yeah.
That when you look at someone, and we get no's, you know, not everybody that you extend. Some of y'all on here, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't calling no name. I ain't calling no name. And it's okay. It's okay because, like you said, Northeastern, man, I saw that slate, man.
Yeah.
That thing is deep and it's rich.
Yeah.
But God knows who needs to be in the Northeast, who needs to be in the Midwest, who needs to be in the South. I'm an island boy. I mean, I came straight from St. Thomas to Michigan, like no stops in between.
Right.
What am I doing? Even people ask me today, what's the island boy doing out here?
And you're too young. I'm being facetious. And you're too young to be in that position.
Absolutely.
Way too young. You're supposed to be
5 years ago.
Yeah.
When I came in, so I was like 43.
43 as a admin. Come on, man.
You know, but I think
we still friends though. Can I call you Kristen on the street?
Oh man, I'm good, bro. Hey, you call me Kristen in heaven.
I hear you, baby. I hear you. And I am proud of you, Kristen. I am proud of you. I am proud. I do think that it is. I don't know. Maybe you rewind it, and it is a hard seat to sit in. I would never. And I'll say it publicly. You could not make me a vice president of administration in nobody's conference. I prefer to be I prefer to be the president or wherever, but never your role.
So there's a book called Leading from the Second Chair, and you just have to have a humble spirit because you're not in the first chair. So you're not the president, you know. And there may be times when you disagree. You know, we don't agree on every single thing, but you got to know how to
look for an article from Pastor Tapp that says leading as an associate. The associate pastor have a powerful position in their church. You know, the second chair there's a book I have sitting over right now that says how to lead from the rear.
Yeah. Okay.
And wrong with that. Hey, Gary and Pat, I got to get ready to roll.
Me too, man.
All right,
listen,
hanging on. Thanks for hanging on. Migs, what's up? You got
I
something?
I need y'all to send me all these books. Okay, all of them. I'll drop my address afterward. Send me all of them. Okay.
Megs, just hold on, and I really mean it. Keep holding on. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm saying this even publicly. I love you, Megs, and not even as a little brother, more like a son. Like you could be my son. Hold on.
I appreciate it.
Pat, how old is he, man?
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm saying, Megs, I'm gonna help take you out.
Hey, look. I was just gonna tell Mick something.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. He's on. Go ahead.
Hey, look, man. And I tell this to folk that I bring in and folk that I don't bring in. Look, man, if you ever need some support, man, you hit me up, man. Inbox me. I'm not talking a job. Now, if you need a job, I mean, like call me. but if you're going through, man, and you just need somebody to support you, man, you know, in your journey. There's a lot of people who are not in my conference, you know, that I pour into best.
Still mentor. Yep.
You know, and like I said, man, you know, we only on this thing for as long as the people give you the privilege to serve. So while I'm in, you know, somebody said, I think that was James that said I'm a better general manager than my Eagles people. But look, man, my thing is if you see talent and the spirit moves, you got to go for it. Sometimes you'll miss.
Yep.
You know, you may not always get who you want, but one thing we don't want to do is bring in who we don't want. In other words, we're not going to settle. Yeah, we're not settling. We're not settling, man. So, Megs, if you need me, bro, just hit me up offline anytime, man.
That's a good word.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for hanging with us, Chris. I know you're busy, especially it's Friday. Thanks for hanging with us, man. Megs, we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Appreciate y'all, all right, man. Keep up the good work, man.
All right, y'all. Man, it was good having them on, man. It's good having them on. Man. G, wake up, G, wake up. I know we were talking.
I know this wasn't your thread. This wasn't your thread.
This wasn't CNN politics for G.
It wasn't sports, Pat.
Yep.
It wasn't Pat. It wasn't toes, and it wasn't toes.
It wasn't fingers. It wasn't hands, Yanni.
It wasn't feet.
I'm not even gonna respond to y'all. Good.
All right, everybody. Gary, what you doing tomorrow? Oh.
Oh. Nothing. But let me just say, can I say next week before you shut me down?
Go ahead. You can.
Yeah, so I'm doing a seminar October 7th to the 10th. So it'll come this week.
I saw that.
So,
I saw that in Florida.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm a broadcast from here or from Huntsville, because I'm really having trouble. I don't want to get into this because we could talk about it. I just think that my internet has slowed down over the last 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, you got to check on whether it's shared or not. If it's a shared internet or not, that's what you have to check on. I have a direct line coming in here from Fios, so you have to check which one, what it is, and you can do that, and it'll switch over in a minute. You can get a dedicated line coming in instead of sharing with your neighbors and all of that. Okay, so check that out. We'll talk about it after that. So that's next week. Cool. I'm off this week, yo. I'm off. Nothing after this. Nothing on Sunday. Nothing. So I'm good. I'm good. Pizzo, what you doing? Paul now froze. What's going on?
I froze?
Yeah, you good now.
I'm freezing all day.
I am installation tomorrow for
That's right. Installation. I got my David sunflower seeds. Got my Frito-Lays that I ate while I was here. And I'm killing my Snapple, which I shouldn't be drinking because I can't drink Snapple. I see you, Pizzo.
Yeah.
What you got, G? Okay, your Lays. You went my way too. It's open, but I think mine is stale. So, Paul, congratulations on your son getting his permit.
Man, thank you so much, man. Yo,
you know what's gonna happen, right? Your insurance is gonna go up.
Yeah, if I report it.
Yep. No. You don't have to report it.
Oh, they'll send it.
It automatically tells the insurance company that you got another driver in your house.
What, man? He went in there. It took him 6 minutes.
I remember when I first got my permit, I got 100 on it, and Daddy threatened to spank me because he's like, "Oh, you're so smart. You could do anything you want to." Like the last time I perform in front of that dude.
I hear you. Hey, listen, we stayed on. Great conversation in the beginning. I got somebody hit me up and was like, "Yo, why we're not letting Gary talk, Paul? My bad. Next time around, we just let him give us his full experience." But I think that's
okay. I know that. I'm just letting everybody know that's fine. You know what I mean? Because that's one of the things we talk about is what I call the Adventist bubble, and there's a lot of people. The stuff that goes on in the bubble, we expose them with what goes on in the bubble.
Sure.
And the conversation that we had earlier was exactly what we talked about coming down.
Sure.
So let me just say this. Big shout out to everybody who was on that slate in Northeastern Conference. Big shout out to Dr. Jules, Dr. King, Chandler. Big super shout out to Dr. Honore. And big super shout out to our boy Ewell and G. Earl Knight. It was an experience. And I want to give a small shout out, Patrick and Paul. There's a bunch of young men, Keith Alberry, Ricardo Delahaye, Edsel Cadet, my boy, Edsel Cadet, the future of Northeastern is in good hands. It was good to see them. And a big shout out to my BWI friend. I met a friend at the airport last week, and Paul was like, "You want me to come with you?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Hold on, Paul. I'm calling Nilsa.
Nilsa right here. How you know if it wasn't Nilsa?
It's not Nilsa, because that's not your friend.
Look, I can't meet people at spots.
No.
Not allowed?
No.
All right. I have an imaginary friend. I just want
Linda Porter.
Shout out to the Northeastern Conference Cheetahs. teachers.
He said cheaters. Paul.
Cheaters. Like, I was talking about Cheatums. Cheatums. I was talking about
Oh,
Cheatums.
cheater.
That's
Yo.
Cheatum. Now you know I really meant that. I'm not trying to talk about it.
Yo.
You know, you remember on the Nutty Professor, he says, "I'm flattered," but he said, "I'm flattered. I'm flattered."
In the
Medication
bloopers.
is kicking in. Right.
All right, Joe. All right. How you want to end out, yo? We just out?
I'm gonna go, Chris. How you doing? Oh,
Yeah, Chris.
yeah, I guess.
All right, everybody. We out.
Is Oakwood Live.
Yeah, I'll see you at
Oakwood
Oakwood
Live.
Live. See you next week, Oakwood Live.
Mhm.
Peace.
Peace.